Every whisper they thought was safe was a trap of their own making.
Isn't it funny how brave they get when they think nobody's listening? How loud their little mouths run, how sharp their comments get, how bold their opinions suddenly become. The moment they believe the spotlight is pointing anywhere but at them. But ooh, you should have seen their faces when the truth hit the floor like a dropped mask, when they realized that mic, yeah, it was never muted. Not for a second, not for a breath, not for a single one of their oops. Didn't mean that little slip-ups. Look who's sweating now, look who's stuttering, look who's replaying every word like a bad dream. They can't wake up from surprise. You weren't the one exposed today. They were. And the funniest part, they still haven't figured out whether you knew the whole time or whether you just smiled because you enjoy watching people hang themselves with their own courage. Come on, lean in. Let's talk about what happens when the room goes quiet and suddenly everybody remembers exactly what they said. It always starts the same way, with that quiet, that strange, soft quiet people mistake for safety. The kind of silence that wraps around a room and tells them, relax, nobody's watching. And oh, that's when the real show begins, because the moment they think the room is empty, the masks slide off like loose paint. Voices drop into their real tone. Tiny whispers grow brave. Hands move differently. Eyes shift sideways. People become their truest, ugliest selves when they believe they're completely alone. Funny, isn't it? How a harmless moment turns into a hidden confession. They don't even realize they're performing not for you, but for the truth. Watch closely. You'll see it. The claws they keep tucked away, suddenly scratching the surface. The envy they deny lecking out in little remarks. The resentment they pretend doesn't exist, escaping through their breath like steam through a cracked pipe. It's never loud. It's never dramatic. Real betrayal is subtle, measured, quiet enough to pass as normal to everyone except the one who's truly paying attention. And that's the part they skip, because they swear you weren't listening. They swear you weren't even there. They swear their words were safe because the room was empty. But you know better. You felt the shift, the tension in the air, that invisible pressure right before lightning hits. You watched shadows move before you ever saw the source. You heard tones change before they knew they were speaking. You caught details they forgot to hide. They thought it was privacy. You knew it was a test they created, one you didn't have to announce, because every whisper they thought was harmless wasn't harmless at all. It was evidence. It was pattern. It was fingerprint after fingerprint left on a mic they didn't know was never muted. There's a moment, a very specific moment, when the air changes. It's quick, sharp, silent, like the whole room inhales and forgets how to breathe. It happens the second they realize the mic was never muted. That face, that priceless freeze, the kind where the soul disconnects for a second because reality slapped harder than they expected. Watch it closely. The eyes widen first, then the jaw locks, then the heartbeat climbs so how you can hear it in the walls. Bravery evaporates instantly, like it never existed, like it was rented, borrowed, stolen from the illusion of privacy. Suddenly the loudest person in the room can't form a single sentence. The sharp mouth turns soft. The confident tone turns into this adorable little stutter they can't control. Accident. That's the word they love to throw around. No, I didn't mean it like that. It was just a joke. I was confused. It came out wrong. Did it? Really? Funny how people's truest thoughts never seem to slip out while everyone's watching. Only when they think you're too far, too distracted, too oblivious to hear them. Accidents don't expose people. Privacy does. And now, they're trapped in their own confession. Every syllable they released is replaying in their head like a crime scene loop. The tone, the attitude, the words they swear they didn't say even though you both know. They said them perfectly. This is the first crack, the first fracture in their confidence. The moment when the mask doesn't just slip, it falls and smashes. They're sweating now, thinking too fast, speaking too slow, trying to gather pieces they can never glue back. Because this is only the beginning. The unraveling hasn't even started, but trust me, they already feel it pulling. Thread by thread. Here's the twist they never saw coming. They thought they were relaxing. They thought the spotlight was off. They thought the scene had ended and they could finally drop the act. But that's the trick. That's the beauty of it. People reveal the most when they believe the audience has left the room. They had no idea they were stepping onto a stage you built without a script. An unannounced evaluation, a secret trial where every glance, every whisper, every harmless comment became part of their scorecard. Not because you were judging. Judging is emotional, weak, messy. No, you were observing. Cold, clear, precise. Like watching rats run a maze they don't know you designed. And oh, how they performed. Loyalty bending in odd directions, motives leaking out of cracks, envy glowing like neon when they thought the lights were off. They mistook your silence for absence. They mistook your distance for disinterest. They mistook your calm for blindness. What they didn't realize is that the real test is always the one nobody announces. Anyone can act loyal when you're looking. Anyone can pretend supportive when the spotlight is bright. Anyone can clap for you when other people are watching. But the private moments, that's where the truth lives. That's where the masks rot. That's where intentions stretch, distort, and finally reveal their shape. Their private behavior wasn't private. It was the audition, the real application for their place in your life. And they failed, or passed without even knowing they were being considered. Because your story, it isn't a public playground. It's a controlled environment, a psychological labyrinth, where character is the only currency that matters. And the ones who whispered, when the room felt empty, they told you exactly who they were when they didn't think you were listening. That's the moment they placed themselves, not you, them. Silence, that's what does it. Not anger, not shouting, not some dramatic explosion, just silence. Your silence becomes the threat they never prepared for, because people expect noise, they expect reaction, they expect you to snap, to confront, to demand answers. But when you give them nothing, when you sit there, calm, still, unmoved, that's when the fear starts, because now they're not battling you, they're battling their own replay, their own memory, their own words, echoing louder than anything you could have said. They panic not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't say back. Your silence becomes a mirror, a big cold mirror that forces them to watch what they did, over and over and over again. And the more quiet you stay, the louder their guilt grows. They start overthinking, reconstructing every second. Did they hear that? Did they notice my tone? Did I sound jealous? Did I go too far? Oh, you can practically see the spiraling, the twitch, the nervous tapping, the way they suddenly correct their posture like they're trying to hide something from a judge they can't see. This is the power they always forget you have. Stillness. People fear stillness because it forces them to sit alone with the truth they created. They expected you to blow up. They expected fireworks. They expected some chaotic confrontation they could twist and blame and redirect. But instead, you studied them quietly, deliberately, like examining a puzzle piece that just revealed its real shape. And now every second, you stay silent. Tightens the rope they tied themselves. Because deep down, they know silence isn't forgiveness. Silence is observation. Silence is calculation. Silence is the moment before the shift they can't control. And you're not rushing it. You're letting them sweat, letting them sit in the echo chamber they built with their own voice. There's always a moment when everything flips. Not because you fought, not because you explained, not because you defended yourself, like some desperate rookie begging for clarity. No, you did the opposite. You rose, slow, calm, unbothered, like someone who already knew how the story ended. And the higher you rose, the smaller their words became. All that noise they made earlier, shrinking, fading, dying in their throat before it could reach the air. That's the thing about guilt. It turns into gravity, heavy pulling, dragging them downward while you float right past everything they tried to weigh you with. They feel it. You can see it. The awkward smiles, the forced politeness, the sudden niceness that smells like fear and sounds like regret. Because now, your presence grows. Your aura sharpens. Your silence becomes strategy. Your posture becomes dominance. Your calm becomes a warning they can't unhear. Funny, isn't it? How quiet the lions get once they realize the cage door was always open. They weren't roaring, they were rattling, hoping you'd mistake the sound for strength. But now they don't roar, they don't bark, they don't tease, they don't test, they observe, they tiptoe, they watch you like someone studying a storm. They never want to stand under again. The power isn't in what you do, it's in what you no longer react to. Your calm terrifies them. Your growth exposes them. Your presence rewrites the hierarchy without a single word spoken. And this exact moment right here is when the dynamic flips. They become cautious, measured, careful with every syllable. And you become untouchable. The one they can't predict, the one they can't manipulate, the one they can't read anymore. Because the truth finally hit them. You didn't lose control. You took it back. There comes a point where the masks stop slipping and start shattering. Loud, clear, irreversible. And that's when you finally see the split screen. Two sides, two versions, two stories unfolding at the same time. Them exposed, crumbling, suddenly polite in that awkward, shaky way people get when they're trying to hide. The pieces falling off their face. Their voice softens. Their eyes avoid yours. Their steps get smaller. Safer, carefully edited to avoid revealing more than they already have. You sharper, calmer. Elevated. Not louder, just clearer. Still collected, like someone who figured out the hidden level while everyone else was stuck repeating the tutorial. Their betrayal became a mirror, a cracked, crooked mirror that reflected something you didn't even realize you'd been becoming. You looked at their actions and saw yourself differently, not as someone hurt, but as someone rising, not as someone blindsided, but as someone awakened, not as someone broken, but as someone rebuilt with cleaner edges and colder precision. Every time they tried to harm you, you grew past it. Every attempt they made to trip you, only proved how steady your footing was. Their sabotage turned into your spotlight. Their gossip became your graduation speech. And the more you grew, the more embarrassed they became by their own behavior, like watching themselves in a broken mirror, distorted, desperate, uncomfortable with the reflection. You walked into a secret room inside yourself, a room they never knew existed, a quiet chamber where you refined your instincts, polished your awareness, and learned how to read people without them saying a word. Meanwhile, they were stuck in the shadow. Audition they didn't know they were in, failing roles they didn't know you were even considering them for. This is where the transformation stops being subtle, where the shift is undeniable, where your growth stands next to their intention, dwarfs them so thoroughly, it almost feels unfair, almost, because you didn't need revenge, you didn't need confrontation, you just evolved, and that alone exposed them completely. The room is quiet, dead quiet, like the moment before a guillotine drops. And now, it's your turn, not with fury, not with shouting, not with the messy theatrics they expected. No, you speak with precision, every word deliberate, every syllable a scalpel cutting through the lies they thought were invisible. The mic sits there, the same mic they assumed was muted, the same mic that turned their whispers into confessions. Now it's your instrument, your symphony of control. They freeze, eyes wide, hands twitching, bodies shrinking, all of their arrogance boiling down into a single, sharp point. Fear. You deliver the truth, not theirs, not exaggerated, not framed for anyone else. Just truth, the kind that leaves them speechless, the kind that doesn't accuse, because accusation would suggest weakness. You don't accuse. You reveal. You reveal the entire pattern they already performed. You show them clearly how their own words, their own behavior, their own choices built the cage that now traps them. Funny, isn't it? You never needed to expose them. They did it themselves. Every whisper, every glance, every hidden thought, all out in the open, by accident, by greed, by carelessness. And as you rise, as your voice fills the room, as your calm, measured authority dominates, they shrink, they stumble in the shadows of themselves, their power dissolved, without a fight. And you stand taller, sharper, untouchable, like a storm they only just realized was inevitable. Every consequence echoes louder than their intentions. Every lie boomerangs. Every act of betrayal comes back polished by your silence and your observation. And in that moment, with the room hanging on every word, with the air thick and trembling, the final truth settles in. You are not just above them, you are untouchable. You are the silence they feared, the consequence they ignored, and the lesson they will carry, whether they admit, either crumble quietly in the echo of their own making.